Hi, thanks for watching my video. Please like and subscribe. Today, I want to answer the question, do I need a CPA? And the reason for that is because it is a very common question I get when answering the phone at the firm. So before I dive into that, I'd like to share with you how to get a hold of us at our firm. We are a panel of trusted advisors here at Tax Pros. I am the firm owner. I'm an enrolled agent, certified tax planner, and I am halfway through the Masters of Science in Taxation. And I have 165 college units being cleared to take the CPA exam. And we have Kenny Kim, who's also an enrolled agent and certified tax coach, and Carolyn Kadaj, who is a CPA and a certified tax coach. So we are a panel of trusted tax advisors. We specialize in tax planning. So navigating the tax professional landscape, do you need a CPA? Big question everyone asks. Maybe, perhaps. I'm going to give you a little more direction on how to narrow that down and what questions to ask when you do find a CPA that you want to contact. So first of all, enrolled agent is a federal license that started in 1884 in the United States of America. Enrolled agents are considered America's tax experts. We have a federal license issued from the Department of Treasury, and we pass 3 exams on taxation developed by the Internal Revenue Service, one on individual taxation, one on business, and one on representation practice and procedures. Enrolled agents, like attorneys and CPAs, have unlimited practice rights, which means that we can represent a taxpayer before the IRS, and we are all subject to Circular 230. Here is a link here. There's a lot of information on the IRS website on what an enrolled agent is. I say this because I've been an enrolled agent for almost a decade, and every time I meet someone new, they just have never heard of it. They don't know what it is. Now, there's about 50,000 enrolled agents in America, and we are basically the country's tax nerds. We love tax. We want to work in tax. We're excited about it. Not that many of us, again, but we do exist. It's officially known as the SEE exam, and it's administered by Prometric on behalf of the Internal Revenue Service. So when you get this federal license, you're allowed to practice tax in all 50 states. It's wonderful. The next we have is the CPA, which is, in my experience, all that the public is really aware of. The CPA is got the most street cred. Everyone wants a CPA. So let's talk about what that is. The license comes from the State Board of Accountancy, and each state has their own Board of Accountancy. However, the examination is the same. There's one test on auditing and attestation, which is around accounting. Then there's regulation, which is tax focused. And then we have FAR, financial account reporting. And the CPA exam just changed at the top of 2024. It's a revolution in the CPA exam. And then the candidates get to pick one of 3 disciplines, which I have chosen tax compliance and planning. It's tax focused. So in addition to taxes, CPAs offer a wide range of accounting and financial services. And they have tested more on accounting. That's journal entries, QuickBooks, and in corporate accounting, all of that. Now, here's the thing. Just because you get your CPA license does not mean that you're a tax expert or that you want to do tax returns. It's a broad, roomy category, and then each person gets to choose where they want to focus, where do they want to practice. And I have met plenty of CPAs that do not like tax. In fact, I prepare CPA tax returns. As clients, I have clients that are CPAs that prefer never to touch a tax return. So just want to put that out there because it's almost like immediately they're considered tax experts when they may not be focusing on that. And CPAs are subject to strict ethical and professional standards regulated by the State Board of Accountancy. And we have a tax attorney. Tax attorneys, every tax attorney I've met isn't sitting around doing a lot of tax returns. Tax attorneys come in when there's complexity, representation, or criminal law. That's when you definitely need an attorney, especially if there's any type of accusation or something that could be considered criminal. And these attorneys they take the bar exam, and I looked into it. Some of them may choose through their education to complete the LLM in tax law, which is very similar to the Master's of Science in Taxation. But not all of them have. So that may be something that you ask. And then we have the USTCP, which is the United States Tax Court Practitioner Non-Attorney exam. This is a very difficult exam. It has a low pass rate, about 13.57%. So about 619 people that took it, only 84 passed. It is very difficult. It's a 2-hour exam on, you can see down here, 25% on tax court rule and procedure, 40% on federal taxation, federal rules of evidence, and legal ethics. It's very difficult. But if you do find someone with this, which I believe there's only around 300 in our country, I can assure you that they are definitely into tax, and you're in good hands. And if you look at the people that are successful in this and that attain this prestigious elite space in the tax world, many of them started out as enrolled agents. So again, it's a broad, roomy world, and you've got to look at the individual practitioner and see what is their focus. What have they been focused on? How far into tax are they? And then you have a tax preparer. So this is something that's shocking. At the present time, you do not need a license from the IRS to prepare tax returns. California, Maryland, New York, and Oregon regulate tax preparers. Connecticut, Nevada, and Illinois require registration or other requirements. So most of the states in our country do not regulate tax preparers. You simply can apply for a PTIN, which is around $20 right now, and then you can hang your shingle out as a tax preparer. Ta-da! And usually tax preparers focus on doing a high volume of tax returns, mainly individual tax returns. And there are times in my practice when I will refer a tax situation out to an experienced tax preparer. There are people that have been tax preparers for 30, 40 years that really know their stuff, and they have different focuses. For example, if you have a low-income family with a lot of dependents, you're going to qualify for some refundable credits. Well, there's a lot of due diligence that's required on those returns. So you want to be with someone who can defend that, who's very familiar with it and has a lot of experience with the due diligence. So I started out as a tax preparer in 1988, and since fell more in love with tax. So who do you choose? Well, it depends on your situation. What you want to ask the practitioner is, what is your focus, right? So I am sure that you can relate to this. There is book education, there's classroom education, textbook, taking exams, and then there's the application into real life work experience. You want a balance of both, right? You want to know what has this person been working on for the last several years? Where do they really shine, right? We can't be, taxation is so big. Like none of us can be a master of the tax code. We've got to really just find our space and get really good at that space. So when you get your license, whether it's an EA, a tax attorney, a CPA, whatever your license is, it's the beginning. It means that I finished my education and I passed my exams. Now I'm being let loose into the world, into the real world with real clients. And it's such a broad world that you've really got to find your space. So you want to ask them what they focus on. You want to ask about their current year continuing education. So for example, I took a lot of education to prepare for my exams. And then as I continued down the path of continuing education to keep my license and to get better and to learn more, I've started drilling down on a lot of specific topics, mainly for business owners, mainly for people that own corporations. There are so many things that we need to know about salary, about fringe benefits, about auto expense, and you've got to really drill down on that. So what are they choosing in the continuing education of the current year? Ask about their main client base. What clients do they like to work with? Who do they serve? And ask about the rest of the team at the firm, right? So if something complex comes up in my decision, are you going to have an internal brainstorming session? Am I going to have access to the brain mind of everybody within the firm, of all your lead practitioners and your tax advisors? That's a very valuable feature. And I can assure you that here at our firm, every week we have internal brainstorming sessions where we work together to find great solutions and the best strategies for our clients. And this is something that I want to say, the Masters in Science of Taxation is the best tax education that I have received. Again, I'm halfway through right now, but if you're really looking for the best of the best, and you need to do tax planning, or you're a high net worth individual, or you're a business owner or a real estate investor, you really want to look for this. And you will often see it as MST at the end of the name. This is the best, for sure. So overall, my point is, you want a trusted tax advisor, and that can be an enrolled agent. That can be a CPA. It could be both. You could have an enrolled agent and a CPA. But it really depends on where they focus. And at our firm, we focus on tax advisory.